to say all those things. So I don't blame Sifuna at this point, because, Sifuna is, in politics, you have to be very brave. And Sifuna is very brave to do all those things and get away with it. And that what is inspiring to others. So I wish these people realize that the people destroying ODM is not Sifuna. It is the leadership.
Just imagine this. A political party publicly preaching unity, quietly protecting the very people it pretended to discipline. And that one man, a member of county assembly, just pulled the curtains wide open.
Even Oburu, as late as I think 2 months ago, was saying that Sifuna and Wanga position your party. You see? So they have given him so much powers.
Yeah.
Paka saizi, they don't know what to do.
On Wednesday, April 8, 2026, Kileleshwa MCA Robert Alai made an accusation that stopped Kenyan politics in its track. Alai claimed that the Orange Democratic Movement leadership have been running a deliberate strategy using Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna as a political weapon, not just a critic of government, as leverage, as pressure, as a tool pointed directly at President William Ruto ahead of the 2027 general election. That is not a small claim. That is a claim about how power is really being played in this country. Now let's build this slowly, because the details are everything. Alai explained that ODM originally called a special national delegates conference with one very specific purpose. That purpose was to remove Edwin Sifuna from his position as Secretary General for Orange Democratic Movement. The decision had even been passed by the party's National Executive Committee. But then something happened. The agenda changed quietly, without public explanation. The removal of the Nairobi senator was taken off the table entirely, and the next-on's resolution, the formal decision of the party's top organ, was simply dismissed, not by the leadership openly, by a named strategist working in the background of ODM. Think about what that means. The official structure of ODM made a decision, and faceless individuals inside the party overruled it. Now take a look at it this way. Vihiga Senator Godfrey Osotsi was punished and stripped off from his dissent inside the party. Another party figure faced similar consequences, that is Anthony Kibagende, for stepping out of the line, but Nairobi Senator and Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino, both vocal, both confrontational, both disruptive, walked away completely untouched. Untouched in a party that publicly speaks about discipline and unity. Alai named what he saw plainly. The Nairobi Senator and Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino were not just rebels. According to Alai, they were the most favored rebels inside ODM, and their protection was not accidental. Someone needed them exactly where they are now, loud, aggressive, and pointed at the ruling party. In other words, the attack dog was on a leash, and someone inside ODM was holding it. The purpose, Alai argued, was leverage. Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna aggressive public style, the confrontation, the attack on UDA, the relentless pressure was being used to keep State House uncomfortable, not as a genuine opposition work, not as a bargaining chip, a controlled fire lit deliberately to keep President William Ruto's administration off balance and negotiating. Alai called it exactly what he believed it was: blackmail dressed up as a politics. But Alai did not stop at the accusation. Kileleshwa MCA also issued a direct warning to whoever designed this strategy. The architect of this plan, Alai stated, had made a serious miscalculation. They believed they were outsmarting the president. They underestimated William Ruto's political intelligence. The schemers, Alai concluded, would find out soon enough. Now let's analyze this carefully, because this story goes beyond what you think. The roots of this crisis stretch back to when the late Raila Odinga was still alive and still leading ODM. Raila's own legal advisor, Paul Mwangi, lately revealed something remarkable. When Raila entered his political partnership with President William Ruto, the former opposition leader had already built an exit strategy into the arrangement from the very beginning. Raila deliberately maintained two competing factions inside ODM at the same time. Sifuna's sides represented the internal resistance, the camp that openly opposed cooperation with Ruto. The other camp leaned towards working with the ruling administration, and Raila sat between them, untouchable, indispensable, and always in control. The division was not a problem Raila was trying to solve. The division was the strategy itself. As long as the two factions pulled in opposite direction, Raila remained the only figure who could hold the party together. The friction gave Raila room. It gave Raila options. It meant no single camp would ever box him into a corner. It was a political architect, cold, brilliant, and entirely intentional. But now Raila is gone, and everything that Raila managed throughout his presence as ODM leader for almost 2 decades has now fractured into something far less controlled. Siaya Senator, who is currently ODM party leader, now leads the party, carrying the responsibility of managing the relationship with the ruling UDA. While on the other side, Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna has publicly chanted a completely different course. ODM no longer has one direction, it has two, and the party is being pulled apart between them in full public view. This is what it means. The 2027 elections are approaching. Every alliance is being tested. Every faction is hardening its position. And Alai's accusation has placed something very uncomfortable at the center of Kenya's politics. When a political party protects certain members from discipline, not because they are right, but because they are useful, that party has stopped being a movement. It has become a transaction. And when that transaction involves using a senator as a weapon against a sitting president, the line between opposition and manipulation disappears entirely. That line is gone inside ODM today. The ground inside that party is not cracking under pressure. It has already split. And in Kenya, here is what should stay with you long enough, is that if the people meant to hold power accountable are themselves being used as tools by hidden hands, who is really speaking for the ordinary Kenyan, that is me and you, and who is really pulling the strings?